First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
You're taking a live look at the White House, where the government shutdown is now in its 34th day. Today, the Trump administration agreed with federal judges to partially fund SNAP benefits as the shutdown continues. This comes after the government planned to freeze the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program's payments over the weekend. This is First at 5. I'm Nicole Beltran.
And I'm Madison Ginsberg. It's not yet clear exactly how much SNAP beneficiaries will receive. We do know the government will tap into an emergency fund that has around $5 billion, which is enough to cover about half the normal benefits. SNAP serves about 1 in 8 Americans, including many in our local community. Our WFT News team is on the ground talking with food banks and SNAP recipients about how the government shutdown is impacting them. We spoke with the director of the Gainesville Community Ministry Food Bank. He says more people are relying on their services, which puts a strain on their food stock. For those seeking help, head to WFT.org to find a full list of where you can receive food and other assistance from nonprofits.
And taking a live look at our Paynes Prairie cam, we're getting close to a beautiful sunset. Daylight saving time ended over the weekend, so expect more early sunsets to come. Speaking of the weekend, we got a little chilly here in north central Florida, but we're already starting to warm back up. UF forecaster Jadyn Bottini is in the weather studio. Jadyn, I already had to take off my sweater on the way to the studio today. Tell us what we can expect for the rest of the week.
Well, that's right. We had a pretty chilly weekend and a pretty chilly week last week, but that's not the case this week. We're going to be warming up a little bit, and temperatures across north central Florida right now in the 70s, 72 in Gainesville, 72 in Ocala as well, staying in the 60s towards the coast, but this is all because of a high pressure system that's heading over our state right now. It's going to keep that northeasterly flow, bringing us drier air and keeping our skies clear throughout the week, but our lows tomorrow morning still going to dip back down into the 40s. Once again, will be 46 in Gainesville, 48 in Ocala, in the 50s towards the coast. So tomorrow's going to be cool. We're going to warm up a little bit, but just into the upper 70s, and really later this week is when we're going to see those temperatures increase. We'll be staying dry, staying clear, warming up, and we're talking about a quiet Atlantic when we get back.
Gainesville voters are 1 day away from deciding who governs their local utilities company. The GRU referendum will determine if the state-appointed authority board keeps control of GRU or if power is returned to the city. The community has fought to overturn control of GRU for years. Back in 2023, legislation passed at the state level allowing Governor Ron DeSantis to appoint members to the authority board.
And last year, an overwhelming majority of voters wanted to return control of the utilities company back to the city, but the results were struck down because of misleading ballot language. You can already see the passion from voters on this referendum. Early voting wrapped up over the weekend. So far, nearly 10% of Gainesville's eligible voters have made their voices heard either by mail or early voting. During a previous standalone election in November of 2021, only 13.8% of Gainesville's eligible voters participated in total. If you're voting tomorrow, remember that some polling locations have temporarily changed. Instead of the Harn Museum of Art, voters will need to walk over to the Phillips Center. Instead of the Days Inn, voters will head to the Rights Union, and voting will not take place at the Hilton Conference Center, but instead at the Doyle Connor Building. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Alachua County commissioners are discussing redrawing the district maps. Currently, the district is split into 5 equal sections. However, many voting precincts are split between districts. Last month, the county reviewed 2 alternative district maps, which were drawn by residents. Neighbors spoke out at the commission's last map discussion, saying they want more clarity about the change.
We have always counted on our leaders to be transparent and give us information, and I think no matter what party, what nation, what anything that's going on right now, we're not getting that.
If approved, the redrawn map would go into effect before the 2026 elections, impacting nearly 175,000 Alachua County voters.
As gun violence cases rise across the country, gun safety has become a top priority for some Alachua County residents. WFT's Carle visited a local firearm dealer to understand people's split opinions on Florida's new gun laws.
I'm standing in front of Pickett Weaponry, home to 865 firearms. But I'm not here to buy a gun. I'm here to talk about them. Jack Pickett shot his first gun when he was 7.
We used to just set up cans and you know, when you could see the target reacting to the bullet, it's a lot of fun to watch cans go flying.
He's the owner of Pickett Weaponry and a 20-year Air Force veteran who's no stranger to firearms.
My father owned guns, my brothers all had guns, I had guns.
He says owning a gun is an American's right.
You've got to remember this, if it wasn't for the Second Amendment, we wouldn't have the First.
Gun death rates increased by 19% in the past few years. Florida's newest law allows gun owners to carry firearms in most public places. Policy expert Meg Bogard feels the new law may become confusing.
Where is the line for open carry? Where can you open carry and what can you open carry?
Bogard hopes these big questions will be answered during the next legislative session. Pickett thinks responsibility is the problem, not gun safety laws.
I think responsibility should be strengthened in America.
Others disagree. Jennifer Macy is a member of Moms Demand Action, an anti-gun activist group.
The public safety takes a back seat to political convenience, and so that's not something that we're in agreement with.
She wants people to act responsibly.
We advocate for gun safety and the responsibility of gun ownership.
That's one thing both Pickett and Macy agree on.
Gun safety means that our communities are educated on the importance of firearm safety.
Keep your finger off the trigger till you're ready to shoot.
Pickett says the most important thing is to know your firearm inside and out. In Newberry, Carle, WUFT News.
A woman died in her jail cell in Columbia County over the weekend, marking the second death at the jail in over 3 days. The woman's identity has not yet been released. Right now, deputies say no foul play was involved in her death. On Friday, 63-year-old James Millard died at the same jail.
A murder trial in Marion County was called off after 2 jurors claimed to recognize the suspect's family. Joe Ron Mitchell is accused of shooting and killing his cousin, Quentin Samuel Jr., in July of 2023. WUFT-TV reports that 2 of the jurors recognized Mitchell's family. WUFT is still working to confirm the relationship the 2 jurors had with Mitchell's family. Ahead on First at 5, Veterans Day is close to a week away. We'll let you know which organizations are honoring and supporting those who have served.
Plus, one cemetery's mission to honor people's loved ones and help the earth at the same time. Stick around.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Prairie Creek Conservation Cemetery is celebrating its 15th memorial celebration.
WFT's Alexis Vivanco shows us how one community is remembering its loved ones while pushing for a greener earth.
Buried deep in Gainesville, a song plays. A melody to honor the dead in its most natural form.
We reunite people with the earth through burial here.
For the last 15 years, the Prairie Creek Conservation Cemetery has been honoring its loved ones through natural grave burials.
They don't need a headstone, they don't need a mausoleum, they don't need anything because they're going to be with the earth.
Every year, the cemetery hosts a memorial celebration to help attendees reconnect with family and the great outdoors.
Life tends to catch up quickly, and it can be quick that a year goes by, and so I love that we have this reason for people to come back and celebrate.
The memorial features poetry.
They're uniting with the earth.
Song. And a chance to remember those passed on.
My late husband, David.
With the ringing of a memorial bell. For Susan Nadeau, the day allowed a chance to remember her favorite troublemaker, her mom, Rose Lowenstein.
She was a character. She was funny. She liked telling dirty jokes, even if she got them wrong and didn't understand them. She laughed hilariously and embarrassed me places because she had to tell her jokes.
Susan herself has plans to be buried here alongside her mother, a testament to the organization's mission of a sustainable afterlife.
This is returning to traditions that are simple and reunite us with the earth and have a positive impact rather than being destructive.
In Gainesville, Alexis Vivanco, WUFT News.
Coming up, we're taking a look at why our dry air and clear skies are here to stay this week, and we're also tracking a slightly warmer temperatures arriving midweek.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Downtown Gainesville was alive with bright colors celebrating the city's annual Pride Festival. Thousands of residents crowded Bo Diddley Plaza to celebrate the LGBTQ+ community. Participants enjoyed live entertainment and food throughout the day. This year's theme was Pride is Protest, which one festival organizer says aims to promote the fight towards equality for LGBTQ+ members.
To remind us all that although we are celebrating today, there's so much work to be done. There's so much protest that needs to be made against the aggressions and the discrimination towards our LGBTQ+ community members, particularly those in the trans community.
During the festival, Mayor Harvey Ward unveiled a new double name for Southeast First Street in honor of the late LGBTQ+ activist Terry Fleming. Fleming was the co-president of the Pride Community Center of North Central Florida and a longtime human rights champion in Gainesville. On another note, the weather really was so beautiful today. I couldn't get enough of it.
I fully agree. However, it is a little warm. I still wish we had those cool temperatures.
That's right. I'm missing our cooler temperatures too, but luckily they're going to return next week. We are going to get a little bit warmer this week, but it's going to be a beautiful week out there, and we can see that right now on campus. Really just a beautiful clear sky out there. Temperature at 72 degrees right now, and temperatures across North Central Florida in the 70s as well. 72 in Gainesville and Ocala, 70 in the Villages, staying in the 60s towards St. Augustine and Daytona Beach, and our humidity is low as well, so that's what's keeping us so comfortable. But our high pressure system is keeping our skies clear, keeping that northerly flow, bringing that drier air to our area. And we're having some technical difficulties right now, but we'll return in just a second.
With Veterans Day almost a week away, local communities are giving back to those who have served. This month, Marion County is offering free passport photos to service members, veterans, and their families. Military members must show proof of their designation in order to receive these temporary perks. Services are available at the Marion County Clerk of Court Annex building during normal business hours.
Marion and surrounding counties are partnering to help veterans find jobs. The 13th annual Paychecks for Patriots job fair will connect veterans, active service members, and their families to career opportunities. The fair is next Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Marion County Public Library headquarters. And starting tomorrow, green lights will shine across Alachua County to honor veterans. Operation Green Light raises awareness for veteran support resources. The green lights are a reminder to veterans and families that their courage is never forgotten. The lights will stay lit until Veterans Day.
Coming up in sports, the 2025 NCAA men's basketball champions take the court once again. How will this game on the road set the tone for the Gators this season? And over on the gridiron for the 5th straight year, Gators football suffered a loss against the Georgia Bulldogs. WUFT Sports traveled to the game and today's press conference to bring you the details. Find out how they plan on chomping back when we return.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
It was chilly last week. It's chilly a little bit right now, but we're going to heat up later this week. But we have an excellent evening ahead of us. And by 6 p.m., we're already down to the low 60s. 8 p.m., 56 degrees. By 10 p.m., we're at 53. And these lows tonight will be into the 40s. We're at 46 in Gainesville into tomorrow morning, 48 in Ocala, staying in the 50s towards the coast. And we're only going to heat up into the upper 70s tomorrow. We'll be at 77 in Gainesville and Ocala, 78 in the Villages, 73 in St. Augustine, and this is the last chance we're going to get to see highs in the 70s pretty much for the rest of the week. And it's because of this, we're having clear skies, high pressure system, keeping those skies clear, keeping that northerly flow, bringing that drier air. So even though we're heating up, that humidity is low and it's going to still feel comfortable out there. And really, we're just looking at a beautiful week. And here's that dry air coming in, that high pressure system, keeping that northerly flow, like I said, bringing that dry air over our state. And that's what's keeping us comfortable this week. We're going to heat up. Next week, we're going to cool down a little bit, but this is the slight warm-up that's approaching. Tuesday, high of 77. Wednesday, high of 80. Thursday, high of 81, but skies staying clear. Really a beautiful week. And looking at the tropics, of course, we're expecting no activity for the next 7 days as we near towards the end of hurricane season. And really, we just have a beautiful week ahead. Skies are clear. It'll be a beautiful election day out there tomorrow. Highs in the 80s towards the end of the week.
It's Macy Meis back with sports, but guess who else is back? That's right, the Gator Boys are back again. Florida men's basketball takes the court tonight, and it's time for the Gators to Viva Las Vegas. The Gators lost their entire backcourt to the NBA draft and have added some new players to their arsenal this season. Lucky Flan from Arkansas and Xavier Lee from Princeton were secured through the transfer portal. The number 3 Florida Gators tip off against number 13 Arizona tonight at 7 p.m. Looking at last year, Florida finished 36-4 overall and undefeated in non-conference play. Arizona finished 24-13 overall and went 8-5 in non-conference play. Arizona's 2025 March Madness dance ended in their Sweet 16 loss against Duke, while the Gators danced their way all the way to their 3rd NCAA title in program history. And over on the gridiron, Florida suffered their 5th consecutive loss against the Georgia Bulldogs. WUFT Sports' Jadyn Costagliola joins us live from the site of today's media availability. Jadyn, I've heard the coaching staff is looking to make some major changes in the middle 8.
Saturday was Billy Gonzalez's first ever game as a head coach. Despite a loss, he praised his staff's communication on the sidelines and from the box to quarterback DJ Lagway. The biggest area for improvement, he says, executing and managing the clock during key times.
Collectively, again, I know we can look at a lot of the back end of the game. Yeah, that's part of it too. But to me, the part that we can teach, that we can get better at as a staff, as a group of players, the coaches, everybody, is to that middle 8.
The middle 8 refers to the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. During the middle 8 on Saturday, the Gators had only 18 yards. Georgia, 110 yards and a touchdown. The Gators are going to have to do better than that in the middle 8 if they want to win on Saturday in Lexington. Live from the Hefner Football Training Center, I'm Jadyn Costagliola, WUFT Sports.
The Gators definitely let the dogs out. WUFT Sports' Lauren McGill traveled to Jacksonville, where she witnessed the game on the sidelines. Here are her takeaways from this weekend's game.
It was a hard-fought battle here at Everbank Stadium as Florida came up just short against its biggest SEC rival, the Georgia Bulldogs. The game was tied at halftime for the first time since 2003 with a score of 10-10. However, the Bulldogs did come out with the win 24-20. DJ Lagway threw for 166 yards with 1 touchdown, but Gunnar Stockton's 223 yards with 2 touchdowns were enough to outbid Billy Gonzalez on his interim coaching debut.
This SEC matchup started quickly as Georgia scored on the first drive, but Florida responded with a 40-yard pass from Lagway to Eugene Wilson III to tie it up. With a tied game, Gonzalez was making history for the Gators. It was a different ball game offensively, with Lagway rushing 24 total yards to double his season high. But the thought still on every Gator fan's mind is, was it a catch? DJ Lagway's incomplete pass to J. Michael Sertovant in the fourth quarter has football fans everywhere replaying the same clip over and over again. But Coach Gonzalez said after the game that he did not think it was a catch. Instead, he expressed his admiration for this team.
Most importantly, I am proud of this team, the way that they've responded and changed. Okay, it's not easy, and I'm just super proud of this team, the way that they've responded. They're resilient, and they're not going to quit.
Following the loss pushes the Gators' record to 3-5, as they'll be on the road again next week as they head to Lexington to face Kentucky. From Jacksonville, I'm Lauren McGill, WFT Sports.
Over on the pitch, Gator soccer traveled to their first SEC tournament under head coach Samantha Bohan. I had the privilege of traveling to Pensacola alongside WRUF beat reporters David Lopez and Hunter Zabarski. Despite a 1-0 loss, Coach Bohan said this season has served as a catalyst for what's to come.
The future is definitely bright. You don't sleep on those Gators because this is just a taste. We're not looking back. And I think we've got the culture in place. I think we've got more and more talent coming in.
Things are looking up for the Gators, who currently have the number 5 ranked recruiting class for 2026, according to Top Drawer Soccer. Sunday's loss takes them out of the SEC tournament, but their season has a chance to keep going on if they receive a bid to the NCAA tournament. And finally, a massive crowd lined the streets of Los Angeles today to celebrate the Dodgers World Series title. They outlasted the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 7 Saturday night, giving the Dodgers their second straight championship. A final look at weather is coming up after the break.
Before we go, we've got some good news to share. The Buchholz High School Wind Symphony is headed to Carnegie Hall. They'll be performing in New York as part of the National Band and Orchestra Festival in April. This really is such an exciting opportunity for students to be able to perform there.
I know. I love that our students can represent our community on one of the biggest stages in the performing arts world.
I mean, think about it. New York City in April, that weather will be pretty chilly, kind of like what we're experiencing now.
That's right. We had a chilly weekend. We had a chilly last week, but things are going to start to heat up a little bit this week. Skies staying clear, though. Those highs getting into the 80s, and we'll see a cool down early next week on Monday.
Thanks for joining us, and we're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
Have a great night.